Hey lovelies, my name is Noria. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm just going to give you some quick tips that can help you when maintaining your plants, whether you are starting off with one or two, or you're like me and it slowly got out of hand and you're trying to rein it back in and just make sure all your plants stay nice and healthy. So here's just a couple of tips that I have learned that really help me maintain my plants. So first of all, you want to figure out what plants are for you. So my lifestyle puts me very just in and out. So I tend personally to underwater my plants. So you want to be mindful of that when you select your plants. A lot of mine are very nice and they will tell me when they need water. So I just kind of go off of that. When they start drooping, I will water them. That's not always a good indicator though. So I would recommend that you get clear orchid pots. So I'll use this one. As you can see, there's holes everywhere for a lot of circulation. So if you're like me and you would just like dump these in water, I'd underwater mine or bottom water mine just because I like to keep the gnat situation down. But this allows airflow and you can see your roots. Like, you can see what's going on inside that pot, so it's easier to tell if you need to water. Like this one, I can probably go one more day before I have to water her. And that just helps so much, especially when you have rarer plants that need a good balance, but you don't want to overshoot it. Which leads into, as you can see, I put her back in a cover pot. That helps as well. You want to have a nice, well-draining pot. So if you're going to do a pot that does not have, if you're going to plant in your pot, definitely do terracotta just because it absorbs more water and it's less likely to sit around your roots. Another tip, lighting, especially if you're like me. I pretty much only have a like northeast facing window, so therefore the lighting in this room is terrible. It is terrible. So invest in good lights. I do have a couple of strips on my shelf, and then I recently just bought these grow lights that I can kind of move around. So like this plant gets its own spot beam. There's a couple on my seal that has their own. So it just gives you the opportunity to fake that light so they are happy. While we do have a lot of plants that say they're good in low light, if you want them to thrive, you need to have a good light source. So invest in some grow lights. Last couple tips is keep your leaves clean. So spray them down, wipe them down, especially if you're like in a dusty area, or like me, you don't have that much lighting, because you need these plants to absorb as much light as they can. So keep those leaves free of dust. This also helps minimize pests. I've noticed that when I'm like, to this point, thank God, I have not had any like pest issues with my plants, but that's also because I'm very proactive and I will spray them down. I will give them a nice little bath. I will clean the leaves, and then inspecting the leaves gives you the chance to catch stuff before it gets out of hand. Last but not least, I pretty much fertilize my plants all the time. Now hear me out. So I use liqu-dirt, which is a all-purpose plant food, and basically you just dilute the heck out of this, and I just use it every week when I water my plants, and that seems to be doing pretty good. I haven't had any issues with any of them frying, turning brown, anything like that. If you are going to use a more powerful fertilizer, obviously, you know, follow the instructions and do it when you need to. This one, I'm pretty good at using it every time I water, and the plants are perfectly fine because of how diluted this is. So I hope that helps. Those are kind of the tips that I've noticed that have helped me as my collection got bigger, as I got more busy, and I needed to be mindful of what my plants were doing. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more plant updates, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!